Now, as the countdown begins for the US presidential race, trouble is again, or rather continuing to mount for Donald Trump.
Right, now after a slew of legal battles, it's been a roller coaster ride. Trump is now ineligible to appear on Maine's 2024 primary ballot, now joining also Colorado. Maine's top election official disqualified Donald Trump from the state ballot in next year's US presidential primary election.
Maine now joins Colorado as the two states have banned Trump from the ballot, as he mentioned. Now, for his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol that took place 2 years ago, that has led to this. Now, Maine Secretary of State Shenna, Bellows, a Democrat, said that Trump incited an insurrection when he spread false claims about voter fraud in the 2020 election. He then urged his supporters to march on the Capitol to stop lawmakers from certifying the vote. The decision comes after a group of former Maine lawmakers said that Trump should be disqualified based on a provision of the US Constitution that bars people from holding office if they engaged in insurrection or rebellion after previously swearing an oath to the United States.
The ruling, which can be appealed to a state court, applies only to the March primary election, but it could affect Trump's status for the November general election, and both the state decisions are likely to face appeals in the court.
Trump, who is the frontrunner for the Republican nomination, his 2024 presidential candidacy has been challenged in multiple states in the United States on the grounds that the country's 14th Amendment bans him from holding office.
For more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report. Listen in.
Is it an exaggeration to say that the 2024 U.S. presidential elections will be like no other with so much drama already? We learned that Colorado will keep former President Donald Trump back on its primary ballot unless the U.S. Supreme Court sides with the Colorado Supreme Court or decides not to take up the case at all. But shortly after, on Thursday evening, we learned that Maine has now removed former President Donald Trump from its primary ballot. Regardless, the U.S. Supreme Court has never ruled on Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which is the clause that both Colorado and Maine used. It was basically put forth after the U.S. Civil War to prevent Confederates from going back into government. It says that anyone who was engaged in insurrection cannot be part of the government. However, Donald Trump was never convicted of an insurrection, and it's not clear whether or not Section 3 of the 14th Amendment applies to a sitting government official, notably the President of the United States, which Donald Trump was at that time. As for now, Republicans are whispering and talking about possibly taking incumbent Joe Biden off the ballots in some states. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.